we know a couple of things. A, we know that God is spirit, so he doesn't have a physical makeup, at least in his eternal state. I mean, until Christ, takes on a human body and a human nature, God is spirit. Now, God may appear to individuals as a man, say Abraham in Genesis 18, and the two angels also appear as men. But that no more limits God to being a man than Exodus 3 limits God to being a burning bush. So God is spirit. He simply uses these either visions or some type of appearance in order to communicate with man. When he says, let us make man in our image, he is talking about some very specific things, I think. There's the idea that what we have are certain communicable attributes that only humans and God share, at least within this creation. I'm going to leave angels out of it for just a second. One of those is the ability to know right from wrong, that we have a moral sense. Romans 1 says the law of God is written upon our hearts. So there's a general moral sense that all humanity shares, right? Torturing babies for fun is wrong. Now there are some individuals who don't believe that, but we have a name for them. We call them psychopaths, and we lock them up. How else do you define a psychopath? He's someone who breaks against the moral nature that we all understand to be true. So now the details may get fuzzy, and atheists have sometimes tried to broaden this and say, well, there really is no moral commonality. I mean, look at there were certain groups in Asia who, when their parents reached 60 or 65, they would practice euthanasia on them. They would kill their parents. The children would actually kill their parents. And they would look at them and think, oh my gosh, how savage those people are. Well, after they talked to them, what they found was these people weren't just going in and brutally killing their parents. They had such high respect for the parent role that they never wanted their parent to see disgrace and dishonor by going through Alzheimer's, losing their mind, losing their physical faculties, right? And so in their culture, the honorable thing to do in order to honor their parents is to kill them. Now, I disagree with that outpouring. Again, general revelation only gets us so far. But it's not that we're widely divided. One society may say one man and one woman can marry as husband and wife. One society may say one man and 4 women can marry as husband and wife. There is no society that says one man can take another man's wife. That just doesn't exist. So there is a universality to morality. There is a universality to reason, to language. The fact language is the basis of reason, that we can talk to each other, that we can communicate an abstract thought, that we can have the idea of the number 2. Another famous, I think Nagel actually wrote this one as well, is 1972 there was an article that said what it's like to be a bat. And Thomas Nagel says you can't really know what it's like to be a bat. All you can know is what it's like to be a human thinking about what it's like to be a bat. Because bats don't think about themselves, right? Your dog doesn't say, man, I wish I was a cat because I could sleep above the fireplace. Dogs can't make those kinds of, so rationality is something unique to humans, and it's also something that God shares. True love, self-sacrificial love in the broad sense, and aesthetics. I think the idea of beauty. I think God delights in the beautiful. I think, Bach was right when he talks about music and being a gift to God in all that he does and things like that. So these are aspects of humanity that are exclusive to humans and exclusive to God. And it's important to know that, again, the atheist view, the evolutionary view will say humans are just the top of the chain. If you go through any chain, you got the animals, the primates, the simians, and then you've got us. We're just a highly evolved form. And the Christian will say, no, we're not just a highly evolved. We're a completely different kind than any other kind of animal. That's why it's okay to have a chimpanzee as a pet, but it's not okay to have a human individual as a pet, right? So being made in the image of God separates us. It means that there is a divide, and the things that we and God share that are unique as opposed to the rest of creation So that doesn't mean that there are some things that the animals can't share. You know, is there a rudimentary emotion? Yeah, but I think, again, going back to the text, I think it's a cause and effect kind of emotion that animals have. It's not a reflective. An animal can understand, look, a plant can only react to its surroundings. Okay? If the sun's over here, the plant's going to grow that way. It has no thought at all. An animal can understand other animals. It can understand being hit on the nose, things like that. But only a human can say, where will I be tomorrow? You know, only a human can be self-reflective. Who am I? And think about me as me. And then, of course, God as well. So only humans can relate to God as another individual. So that's what the image of God really means. It's not specifically talking about the physical in that sense, because God as spirit wasn't developing the physical in that way.